Are we rolling, bud?
Yeah.
Can't tell. Smile now. Not like that. Be natural. Hey everybody, and welcome back. No, that's a DeeVine DeeZine. Hey everybody, and welcome to Real Talk with the Roses, where we answer your questions about love, sex, marriage, and life in general. Tonight we're going to be talking to you about the B word, so if you want to hear everything we have to say about that, just stay tuned. Finally back.
We're back.
It's been a little while.
A long while.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months, you guys, since we were able to do a real talk with you all. Life has just been crazy.
You've been sick.
I've been sick. Our daughter graduated high school.
Yep.
So we have been on the run, and just a whole bunch of other personal stuff and church stuff that we've been going through and dealing with, and our time has just been zapped pretty much.
Very much.
Yeah, but we are back tonight and very excited to answer some of your questions. We're going to go on back to some of the questions that were turned in at the very beginning of this series, and we probably had, I don't know, probably about 7 or 8 people ask about budgeting. And since that has been the most popular topic that you guys wanted to hear about, we are finally going to tackle that for you tonight. We're going to give you just a little bit of background about budgeting in general, what our thoughts are about budgeting, and then next week we will come back and show you how we actually set up our budget and try to help get you guys started on a budget as well. Just to give them a little bit of clarification for those that are new, we've got several new subscribers since the last time we did a real talk. We are certified budget counselors through Crown Financial, and we are also trained in marriage counseling. For those of you who are unaware, I am an ordained minister, and so a lot of the basis on the advice that we give you guys comes from that foundation and that background. And also, if you're new, then you probably haven't heard yet that my husband is in law enforcement. He is a captain with our local sheriff's department here in town, and so a lot of the things that you can offer family advice-wise even comes from things that you see going wrong in families that you have to deal with on a daily basis. So that is what kind of qualifies us to help you guys out. We don't by any means think that we are experts, and we certainly don't claim to have all the answers, but we can help you find someone who does if we don't know an answer to your questions. So you ready to jump on into budgeting?
Yep.
Most of you wanted to know really the importance of budgeting, why budgeting, and how to set up a budget. So let's start there. Why don't we give them your thoughts on the importance of having a budget in any marriage, whether they have children or a big family, or whether it's just the two, or even a single person really should be on a budget, don't you think?
Yes. I think it's very important because it's basically a spending plan. Not only a spending plan, but a savings plan for the future. So you pretty much put everything in perspective as to income, outgoing, and you're trying to look ahead and predict for future needs. And the only way that you can do that, of course, is with a plan.
It's with a plan. And everything takes a plan.
Right.
Can't build a house without a plan.
Nope.
Or a building without a plan.
Nope.
And you certainly can't build a financial success, if you want to call it that, without a plan to do so. In your experience, how many people kind of fight against a budget? Is it something that's popular with people? Do people hesitate setting up a budget? What's been your experience through all of the counseling with different people and their money?
Well, our experience has been most people fight against it because it's such a foreign concept to them, and they think it's too much work, so they just rather not even think about it.
And
it does take a little bit of work.
Yeah, and I think that, like, for me, in my mind, you set us up on a budget years ago, you guys. We are talking over 20 years experience with budgeting in our own home. And we would never recommend you guys to do something that we didn't feel we could do as well. And when you first brought up that subject to me all those years ago, I balked at it. It was the B word to me, and I didn't want to do it because, to me, in my mind, I thought we were going to be very restricted. And do you think that that's like a common thing people think of when they think of that word budget?
I think so, because most people know that they can't just spend whatever it is on whatever they want. There's specific categories that you have certain amounts that are allotted towards, and you're not supposed to go beyond that. Although that's not to say you never can, but most people don't want to even think that much about it. If they think they've got money, they want to be able to spend it on whatever they want.
And that's probably a great point, because I know that even over the years when we've talked about budgeting with people, or even in our own personal lives, if someone would ask us to do something that we didn't have budgeted for, and of course, like he said, it's just a spending plan, and there are times that you have to bend the budget or move the budget for certain things that come up. But you don't want to get in the habit of doing that consistently, or then the budget really isn't any good.
Well, and just to add to that real quick is, most, if not all, successful businesses, they have a budget.
Right.
Because they need to know what's coming in and what's going out, and they also need to have a plan for the future. And for those that don't, they'll fail. Exactly.
And you don't want to get in that habit of moving things and bending that budget so consistently every month that then your plan is just pretty much shot out the window. And I can remember many times that when people would ask us to do something that involved money, and we would say, we just really don't have the money to do that, they would know that we lived on a budget and possibly had savings in our savings account, and their responses back to us would be, but you have money in your savings account, can't you just use it for that? And there were times, of course, that, you peeked into that savings account a little bit to do something that was out of the ordinary. But if we would have gotten in the habit of doing that every time someone invited us out to dinner or to a movie or whatever, eventually the savings account would be totally gone. And then when something happened with health or a breakdown of a car, then the savings is not there. And that's what a budget helps you to prepare for. And one of the things that I want to say that I have learned through all these years, I hated it at first. I resisted at first. I don't know if you remember that. That's going back kind of far in time.
A little bit.
Yeah, and it was a large part of me, honestly, was because I've always done our bills, except for, I think there was probably about a 2-year period that you did the bills for a while. But other than that, I've always done the bills. And when we first set up the budget, both of us were getting paid weekly. And my thought was, oh man, this is going to be so much work having to think of, okay, on this Friday, how much do I put towards the rent that's going to come due? How much do I keep back for groceries this month? Because when the rent comes due, it's all got to be there. And it's a little more challenging when you're paid week to week, and even when you're paid bi-monthly. It can definitely be challenging. And whenever you're just getting started, to me, it felt so overwhelming. But what I learned was it didn't take but maybe 2 months, 3 months tops to really get things rolling, to know exactly how we were going to budget every time we got paid. And I've learned that it is very freeing. Would you feel?
Yeah. And even for those who think they can't get started, I would think the best way to get started is maybe not have all the different categories, but at least set some aside in your savings account. That's your reserve. And then you now have that liberty or that luxury to now move funds into different categories. And if you have to pull a little bit from your savings to cover until you get paid the next week or the next 2 weeks, then you've got that, and you just replace that with what you pulled out of savings.
Exactly. And it's going to take a little while to get it going. We are in a position now to where you guys know that I have been a stay-at-home mom now for many years, homeschooling the kids, and so we only have your income, and you are paid once a month. And so that actually makes it so easy. Like, I sit down at the first of the month when he gets his paycheck, and we know, okay, this is all we're going to have all month long. And so I actually love the once a month system. A lot of people don't like the once a month system if they're not disciplined.
Right.
Because it's easy to think, oh man, you know, I've got however much your monthly income is, I've got this amount of money and yeah, let's go partay. And then before you know it, you spend it. You do have to be very disciplined, and you have to be willing to stick to the budget and know that that lump sum of money is going to have to stretch you for the whole 30 days or 31, however much a month has. But I enjoy the once a month now. And highly recommend for any of you that can go to a once a month. Some employers now give their employees an option on how they want to be paid. Many still don't, but there are some who do. And if you have that option, or even if it hasn't even been discussed at your place of employment, it might be something worth bringing up and discussing, because it is so budget friendly and takes all the work of the guessing every week out of it for you. And I love it now, and find that it is very freeing to me, because I don't have to worry. We have to worry a little bit right now in our situation, because people know we've been going through the remodeling and getting out all the mold, and so our money is very tight. We don't have a saving. We have a savings account, but I think there's like 98 cents in there. So our budget, what's in each column, is not necessarily as great as what it once was. Nonetheless, because we budget the other categories, I don't have to worry about if I'm going to have enough money to feed our family food all month, because we know it's there.
Right.
And even just like our coupons, which I'll get into this more with you guys as we start showing you to set up a budget. But I even take out how much I spend a week on coupons. I put that in a very special, I have a little thing that I keep in my purse here from the Dollar Tree, you guys. And inside of it has all these different pockets. And there are different categories that I have placed, and you guys will notice that I have a very special little pocket that I decorated with washi, you guys, and this is where my coupon money sits. And so I know that even my coupon money is going to stretch till that very last Sunday of the month. And so I cannot recommend to you guys enough about budgets, and I'm actually excited about helping them get started.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to start that with you guys next month. We're going to talk about this cash system that we use, because I think out of everything that we have done over the last 20 plus years with our budget, going to this cash system for your everyday, like gas and groceries, everyday stuff like that, has been probably the best thing we've done. Would you think?
I think so, because you know what you got.
Mm-hmm. And you're not constantly making withdrawals from your debit card,
right,
or writing out a bunch of checks that you forget to write down. I mean, once it's gone, it's gone. And when you pull up to the gas station and you see, well, I got $50 left for the end of the month, we better stay home. It is super easy. So we're going to share that with you next time. We're also going to pull out some of the budgeting worksheets and show you how much percentage each category should have, like your housing, your food, savings, dental plans, and all that. And he's going to go over a lot of that with you guys and try to give you a generalized percentage, and we're going to see if we can't help you guys get rolling. But tonight we just really wanted to talk to you about the importance of it and hopefully get you excited, because it really is, I think it's been the best thing we've ever done with our money.
Yeah.
For sure, by far. Yeah. So you guys get excited. Stay with us over the next couple of weeks, because it'll probably take us a few weeks to get you guys going towards this budgeting. Definitely share this video with all of your friends and get them excited as well, because financial freedom will reduce a lot of stress in your relationship, not only with your spouse, but with your entire family, and even relationships around you. When you're less stressed, they're all less stressed, don't you think?
That's true.
All right, you guys, make sure you leave us questions down below, something specific about a budget maybe you want to know, or about any other topic, and we'll be sure to get those in future videos. We want to thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us this afternoon, and we will see you soon in the next video.